Welcome to Grand Sumo Breakdown. This is Jake.
The unofficial Sumo podcast for official Sumo fans. This is Ryan.
And I'm Mac. Hello.
And
Konnichiwa.
apparently, we are just so goddamn excited to talk to you about the
And
first
why
week
not?
of the Aki Basho.
Keep that foot on the gas.
We have just finished watching day 8 of the September tournament. So if you haven't seen the Basho through day 8, pause now. Welcome back. How are you enjoying that undefeated start for Hoshoryu? Impressive, isn't it? But before we dive more into that, we've got 4 new patrons that we need to give compliments to. So Jake, take it away.
Real quick, Flarrick's not here.
Oh,
He's
yes.
busy. I am on the road, so I sound probably a little different, and my background is probably only about 80% as exciting as it is back in my office.
I don't. Jake, tell us about the decor there. The pillow. It really brings the room together.
Yeah, it's drywall
Ah, yes. Very fine.
and a couch. That's
Minimalist.
comfier than my office chair. I
Spartan.
don't think I could do
Love it.
very good work from here, but
Anyway.
anyways, so thank you to we've got four new patrons that joined since our preview. Thank you very much for supporting the show. First off, we have Nick Simpson, the only reason that I still watch The Simpsons 20 years after it should have been canceled. And then also Steve Cartwright, thank you for supporting the show. You are the kind of fan that's Kodo Shoujo in July, not Kodo Shoujo in September.
Ooh.
Talking about that one more later.
Well, as a fellow energy emitter and space nerd, I'm very pleased with Quasar joining our community of stars. May your luminosity never dim and your energy output never dwindle.
And to Kayfabe. Kayfabe is the best in the world. She is a revolutionary. She is a visionary. Kayfabe 316s that says she will lie the smack down on your Rudy Poo candy
We're doing
asses.
wrestling.
Kayfabe
Yeah.
Mania is gonna run wild all over you, brother. Ooh yeah. Woo woo woo. You know it. Grand Sumo Breakdown. Acknowledge her. Ones to the sky. Everybody put your ones to the sky. We're acknowledging her.
I don't know this one. Is this a
I
new
don't know
one?
it either. What are we
Roman
doing?
Reigns.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah, I definitely faded away from wrestling before he started being actually good at it.
I only got 2 references in that one, Ryan. So
Oh, man.
And I bet it was Hulk Hogan and
Macho Man.
Macho Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mac, can you define kayfabe for us in the context of wrestling?
I only know K-pop Demon Hunters. I'm sorry.
You know what? I'm going to give that one to you. It's
Thank you.
topical.
Yeah.
Full points.
All right.
Real quick, Amasumo update. We do have a couple events coming up. The next one coming up in early October will be the Olympia Sumo Championship. This is my t-shirt from the first one, but I think we're on year 3 of that one now. I'm going to bring up the page because I did not write down where that one was taking place. I believe it is in Las Vegas again. That's right.
Ooh.
Las Vegas, October 10th through 11th of 2025. Sumo Dan's Olympia Sumo Championship. In November, on November 8th, we have the 5th annual Consulates Cup. That's in Austin, Texas. And then the first ever, as far as I'm aware of this, Saturday, November 15th in Nashville, we have the first ever Sumo Regional Championship.
Ooh.
So the Sumo Federation has divided the country into 4 regions to help make sure that everybody has proper representation in the government. And the Southern region, they're like, let's just do a regional tournament, end of the year with that. So pretty cool stuff. And lastly, we have on December 6th, we have the Appalachian Sumo Royale. I believe it's the first tournament that they've put together up in Pittsburgh. That'll be December 6th. I believe that there is an October 25th Midwest event happening in Grand Rapids, Michigan, but as of recording, I'm not positive that has been, that the date and location have been confirmed on that one. But real quick, the more important than events thing, we just had the Sumo World Championships. And the United States literally did better than we've ever done at Worlds.
All
We came
right.
home with 4 medals. Well, technically 7, because one of them's a team, and that goes to 4 different people. But that's the most medals that we've ever got, including our heyday in the 90s when we were taking home open weight and teams medals all the time.
That's awesome.
Quick overview. For the 3rd year in a row, the women's team got a medal. This year, we moved from bronze to silver.
That means we beat
Yeah.
Ukraine or Japan, which is awesome.
We lost to Japan. That was it.
Okay.
That's amazing.
I don't remember exactly which teams were beaten on the way to the finals, but Ukraine, Mongolia, Georgia, Norway, there's always like lots of big teams out there. and we're in the mix again. You know, the third year in a row being on the podium, that's nuts. Also, for the third consecutive year and the fourth consecutive international event, we have a women's heavyweight medal. This time it was Eros Armstrong out of Texas.
Hey,
That's right. Yeah, Mac, you and I met her the very first amateur sumo event we ever went to.
yeah.
But yeah, she's back in the mix. She was our heavyweight champion this year and got silver at Worlds.
All right.
Awesome.
So those are third consecutive for each of those two. The next two are huge streak breakers. We got our first adult men's medal in 8 years when Dominus out of Mighty Eagle Sumo in San Antonio got bronze in men's open weight. And then we also got our first youth medal in 11 years. That went to Gabe out of Nashville. He got men's heavyweight bronze.
Cool.
So, yeah, literally the most successful worlds ever. And I'm not going to be self-conscious or apologetic about taking extra time for this amateur sumo update because
Absolutely not.
damn,
Nor should you.
we
Nor
did
should you.
Great. Super proud of our team. The opportunity to be on the world team for 2026 to go to Azerbaijan for Worlds in, I believe, September of 2026. You will have to win your division in Las Vegas, I believe March 28th, 29th, something like that, whichever one's a Saturday. Hosted by Honu Sumo out of San Diego. But the event itself is in Las Vegas this year, or next year.
Next year.
Yep. So keep an eye out for more stuff on that. There's also an election this year, so there will be lots of stuff going on about that. We'll probably do at least an episode or two breaking down how the USSF works and trying to get more people involved in that. And last thing before we turn it over to our coverage of the current Basho, we're still working on our green belt. So we got 3 terms for us that we're working on today. I think I mentioned it on the preview, but we're getting a little bit out of memorization of vocabulary, and now we're working our way into understanding of techniques. So we're going to talk about the Otsuke technique, Makikai technique, and breaking your opponent's grip on your belt. Those are 3 things that we're going to cover. We'll check back in right around break time for those.
God, just what could breaking your opponent's grip on your belt mean, though? Like, what technique could you be doing with that?
I'm not sure.
You know, if
we'll find out.
If Fleric was here, he would not be making as much fun of me as you guys do. But here, Mr. Sofa Rikshi over here, you guys go ahead and do your thing. We'll see if you can explain your techniques when we get to that point.
Let's talk about the Grand Sumo tournament going on. Amazing accomplishments over at Worlds. That's absolutely incredible for the U.S. team. But we're on to the main event for what we're here to talk about today, and that is Hoshoryu. He's living up to Mac's expectations. 8-0. First 8-0 start in Hoshoryu's career. His previous best was 6-0. That was back in November of last year when he went 13-2 and lost on day 15 to Kotozakura. But that was the beginning of his Yokozuna run. And in those first 8 matchups, Hoshoryu's taken out most of the people that give him trouble a lot of the time. He beat Takayasu, who he now has a 4-10 record against. He beat Abi. He's 12-9 against Abi, but he had lost his last 5 matchups against Abi. He beat Atami Fuji, who he's now 4-5 against all time, and he beat Oho, who is now 5-7 against all time. So Hoshoryu taking out a lot of the people we typically see take him out. He's off to an amazing start. We know that when Hoshoryu gets hot like this, it can be very difficult to beat him in the second week. So, Mac, you came out very strong on the preview episode. You said you wanted a Zensho Yusho out of Hoshoryu. 13-2 was the minimum of what you wanted to see from Hoshoryu this Basho. After an 8-0 start, are you satisfied?
Are we on day 15?
We are not
Does
day 15
it
yet.
say 15-0 on his record?
No, I believe that first number is an 8.
Rounding up, it gets there.
Rounding up. No, I am not satisfied yet. 13 is the absolute minimum I expected from him. Until that says 13, I will not be satisfied. I will not fully acknowledge him until then. Right now, okay.
We're working for Mac's acknowledgement now?
You're making good progress. You heard me. Now, do you want my respect? That's what you're working for right now.
But have you reached Mac's respect?
Indeed.
That's a whole other bar to clear. What about What about Ono Sato? I mean, he only got 11 wins as Yokozuna last time. Why aren't we burning him to the ground?
Because I actually like Onosato.
Oh, wait. I feel like this is news. You don't like Hoshoryu?
No, I like him.
When did that happen?
I just have higher expectations for Hoshoryu. I'm like, come on, buddy, you should be better than this. And now I'm actually starting to see some glimmer with that. But I have to hold him higher than Onosato because Onosato has at least shown up more than Hoshoryu has. So I have more confidence with Onosato and can give him a little more leeway. With Hoshoryu, you gotta you gotta give me a little bit more before I can actually say, all right, I'm confident with this guy now.
You know what? Fair. And we've gotten more from week one from Hoshoryu than we literally ever have in his entire career.
Absolutely.
Hasn't been perfect, but in terms of wins and losses, it's been perfect. But the matches, there's been a couple of close ones. But in the end, the dub is all that matters. So
yeah, to me, he's never gotten 8-0 before, but he's already gotten to Yokozuna. Is this so? Like, I don't know. I don't see any reason not to be super impressed. Yeah, there have been a couple matches that were like a little bit close, but they weren't losses. And every single Basho for the entirety of his career, at least one of them has been a loss.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm very excited. Despite there were a couple that were, I don't know if I even want to call it shaky. There were a couple where he had to go to Plan B.
Day one against Tamawashi, the Watashi Komi win was clearly the shakiest one. And that's just an incredibly impressive move, I think, by Hoshoryu. Like, he's being pushed down, he reaches his arm out and grabs Tamawashi's leg and pulls that so that Tamawashi ends up falling in his ass too, and Tamawashi just happens to land a hair before Hoshoryu does. Right. I don't think he's getting enough credit for how incredible and how much awareness you need to pull off that move, and luck as well.
And luck, absolutely.
But he still is the one that made that happen with that desperation move, and it worked. So that was incredibly impressive. And then the next closest one was probably against Hiradu Umi on day 7, where Hiradu Umi had him against the ropes, but Hoshoryu was able to kind of throw him to the side. And once again, Hiradu Umi landed before Hoshoryu did. Those were the two closest calls. But other than that, it's been looking pretty good for Hoshoryu. A lot more kind of straightforward sumo. I wonder if the words of Hakaku, the chairman of the YDC, kind of got to him a little bit. We were talking about on the preview episode at the YDC Soken, where Hoshoryu dominated against Onosato and Koto Zakura, but Hakaku still said, yeah, Onosato is the favorite to win this. He just pushes people out. That's just what he does. And Hoshoryu, he's got all these fancy tricks, but if you're relying on those fancy tricks, it opens you up to more weakness. And to Hoshoryu's credit, he's not been relying on the fancy tricks. He's got a fair amount of Yorikiri Oshidashi so far this tournament. He's just working on pushing his opponent out of the ring. When he needs to break out the fancy trick, he's got it in his bag, but that's not his game plan number one this Basho. His main plan is just get the other guy out of the ring as fast as possible. And for the most part, he's been doing very well for that. So I've been very happy with Hoshoryu's first week. Obviously, how can't you? He's 8-0. But just wasn't expecting that from him coming off of the last Basho with the injured toe, and he had a shoulder injury during training. Just kind of things seemed like things were stacking up against him. So to see him come out as on fire as he is, it's really nice to see from Hoshoryu, and I think there's no reason to think he's not going to keep this momentum moving forward.
Yeah, totally. Nobody gets to 8-0 with 8 perfect victories.
Yeah,
13.
Hey, Mac.
Nobody gets to the Midway episode with 8 wins. 8 perfect. Yeah. You know what I mean? And yeah, I think that like the two that were close calls were exactly what you want the Yokozuna to do. Even if he has to dig into the bag of tricks, still find something in that bag of tricks, and did beautifully. Yeah.
Even when Hakuo had Zensho Yushos, I'm sure some of them he had to go to plan B or C to pull out a win there. But yeah, to defend Hoshoryu a little bit, I mean, the Bashos that he's done poorly are due to injury. Like, he did have to pull out. He had legitimate loose elbow and broken toe, dislocated toe. And then his last 3 Basho that he's been healthy, 13-2, 12-3, 12-3, which I don't think we can really be too upset with any of those things. He looks like he's well on his way. Hopefully nothing happens where he loses like 2 or 3 in a row here sometime in the middle of week 2. Looks like we're looking for Hoshoryu to be Yusho contender all the way to day 15 very easily, it feels like here. But we do have 3 Rikishi chasing after our Yokozuna leader, and one of them at 7-1 is our other Yokozuna, Ono Sato. He is looking damn strong. He had a loss to Haku Oho on day 4. Seems like Haku Oho might have Ono Sato's number just a little bit here. Really nice kind of seeing Haku Oho put some dirt on Ono Sato. Both those guys came up around the same time. Both had extreme levels of hype as they were coming into the sumo world. But then after Haku Oho had that shoulder injury, he dropped back down to Makushita. That just kind of left the door open for Ono Sato to shine all on his own. So it's nice to see Haku Oho coming up and showing like, hey, I was a highly touted amateur coming into. You're not the bee's knees, Ono Sato. I got you. But then after that, especially the last 2 days, Ono Sato's just looked damn near unbeatable and the strongest man on earth, ragdolling Gonoyama and Hiradoumi the past couple of days.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts
Just
on Ono Sato?
Beautiful.
Quantitatively, not as good as Hoshoryu, obviously, because he's 1 win behind. Qualitatively, he looks like an absolute monster. He's absolutely hucking fools into the 3rd row over and over again. Like, it's just...
And making it look easy.
It's what we've come to expect from him. So like it does kind of like I don't know. I do my best not to take it for granted that he can just annihilate these people that do nothing. Like this guy, like picture a guy, his entire life is to be good at sumo. And he reaches like top 10 in the world. And he's like, it's the only thing in his entire life. And he's so good at it. And he can beat the crap out of everybody in the world. And then Ono Sato just instantly dismantles the guy, sends him on his ass, and Ono Sato's not even breathing heavily.
Yeah.
Like that's the level of every single match for him. So yeah, I obviously there's the 1 loss to Haku Oho that's an issue there, but like other than that, no concerns on my front.
Yeah, I feel like his win against Gonoyama on day 7, like if you are playing a career highlights of Ono Sato's career when he's retired, that's a match that you just show to show his incredible strength, just like the quick shove to send Gonoyama absolutely flying off the dohyo. It's just incredibly impressive. So obviously we've got 2 Yokozuna, both looking great. This is what we've been wanting. This is the world we've been wanting to live in.
It's finally happening.
Through 1 week, it looks good. But we still got a whole 2nd week to go where it could all crumble. So let's not get our hopes up too much. But contradicting that entire previous sentence I just said, how are you feeling, Jake, about our day 15 Yokozuna matchup having big Yusho implications?
Oh, I'm getting my hopes up too much.
Yeah,
for sure. Already. Like, yeah, I don't know if it's worth elaborating too much, but yeah, I do expect 1 or 2 more losses amongst the 2 of them. I just don't really see either of these guys as Zensho machines like Hakuho was.
Nobody is.
Yeah. So I think that I hope that if they do pick up any extra losses, that it's still the last match of the Basho still has Yusho implications. Like we've kind of held that up as like the standard for like when we have returned to Yokozuna time. Yeah. Is when that happens. So yeah, I think that it's by far our best shot so far. So let's I'm still very optimistic.
Yeah. I think my ideal scenario obviously would be 14-0 Hoshoryu versus 13-1 Ono Sato on day 15. And then I haven't decided if my preference would be Hoshoryu win outright, get the Zensho Yusho, shut Mac up for at least a couple of Basho.
That's impossible.
Or do we have Hoshoryu lose, but then win the playoff? Either way, in my ideal scenario, Hoshoryu's winning. But damn, a back-to-back Yokozuna matchup on day 15 with the Yusho on the line in 2 straight matches would be pretty dang cool.
Right? That's what I want. I want a 14-1, 14-1 battle. I want to see that.
I want there to be a 1-win gap between the 2 of them on day 15, just so we have the potential for a playoff. I mean, if they're tied and they're still the Yusho leaders. We still have two other guys that are 7-1 we have yet to talk about that could spoil all of this talk. But if they're tied, say at like 14-1, 13, or 13-1, 12-2 going into the final day, that becomes basically a playoff. But damn it, two
Yeah.
matches is better than one. So that's what I'm hoping for.
I agree there, but yeah, I think as long as the Yusho is still up in the air, that counts for me for checking the box
Oh,
of
yeah.
we're moving on to the new era here, and yeah,
But
very excited.
as I said, we do have two Rikshi that are tied with Onosato, just one win behind Hoshoryu, and we got a couple of Maegashira. We have Maegashira 7, Takanosho, and we've got Maegashira 11, Shodai, waking up for the first time in God knows how long.
It's been a minute.
Mac, between Takanosho and Shodai, both of which 7-1, who do you think is most likely to be a serious Yusho contender deep into week 2?
Between these two, I would actually give the edge to Takanosho. I know Shodai was a former Ozeki, and he can perform up at that top level, but I just don't have as much confidence in Shodai moving forward. And we know that he has whatever weird magic that possesses his Tawara sense, where it's just like, okay, I'm just gonna dance a little bit. I think we're gonna see more of that going into week 2. But Takanosho's actually looked really domineering in his matches. So I would say that Takanosho's got a little more to go than Shodai at this point.
Takanosho's at the sweet spot for him on the Banzuke. It seems like he's at Maegashira 7. He's off to a 7-1 start. He was at Maegashira 6 in November of last year. He went 11-4. He had started 10-1 before getting fed to the higher rankers. So he had been on a huge start for that one. And then a couple months prior to that, he was Maegashira 6 again. That's where he went 12-3 and lost in a playoff to Terano Fuji. So Takanosho's definitely somebody who very recently has been a real deep Yusho contender, even pushing Terano Fuji to a playoff. And he's at that sweet spot in the Banzuke for him. So I might agree that Takanosho could be the one to watch here. Do you have a difference in opinion, Jake? Could we be looking at June Yu Shodai?
Ooh,
I was gonna say pretty much the same thing as Matt, but reversed. In that I think Shodai has been looking slightly more qualitatively better. That's apparently the word that stuck in my head today, qualitative versus quantitative. But yeah, I don't know. I think both of these guys are definitely in that boat where it feels very fluky. I don't expect either of them to stay in the Yusho race the whole time, but if one of them did and you forced me to pick between these two, I think I'd say Shodai. There has been an intensity to his matches that he has not had in a while, it feels like.
Yeah. It helps when you're Maegashira 11.
Yeah, but he's been in this region like for a while, like and still hasn't popped off. And just the spirit, the extra energy that he's putting in seems to be doing well for him. So I don't know. Like I said, I think both of these guys are a little fluky. Neither of them has impressed me a crazy amount, but they're doing what former Sekiwake Ozeki should be doing, and that's feasting on these lower ranks.
Yeah. I will say Shodai seems to be in like the real soft spot of this Banzuke. Like the bottom of the Banzuke is actually like Shishi, Maegashira 18, 6-2, Ryuden, Maegashira 17, 6-2, Tomokaze, 5-3 at Maegashira 16, Maegashira 15, 6-2, 5-3. Like the bottom of the division is actually performing fairly well.
It's
what when
the
you
hell?
get to like
Yeah.
14, 13, 12, 11, in those ranks, only Shodai has a winning record, and that's where Shodai's been facing most of his competition at this point. Even if you go to Maegashira 10, Maegashira 9, Maegashira 8, there's only 2 more people with winning records amongst those ranks. So kind of the middle part of the Banzuke is the part of the Banzuke that's been performing the worst. The bottom's been doing great. The top's been doing pretty good. That middle section's been doing pretty bad. So they've been able to feast as the kings of the weak section. So if they keep winning, keep rattling off wins, we're going to see them start getting matches against like Aonishiki, Wakataka Kage. At this point, if Hoshoryu and Onosato keep on winning, they stay ahead of the pack. I think they're going to try to avoid having those guys face them if at all possible. They'll want them to get past like like I said, Aonishiki, Wakataka Kage first before they get to the Yokozuna.
Yeah, theoretically, if the Yokozuna aren't called upon to beat the crap out of a Maegashira 10 or whatever, or 11, theoretically, the Yokozuna both still have their top 4 matchups left to go. Both Sekiwake, both Sekiwake, the Ozeki, and the other Yokozuna that they'll still have to face. So that's like the last third of the Basho, barring anybody going nuts and needing a Yokozuna beatdown.
Each Yokozuna, theoretically, as long as everything goes well, has 2 more Maegashira matchups, those being Wakamoto Haru and Koto Shoho for each of the Yokozuna. All right. We do, theoretically, this could come down to a group of people that are 2 wins behind the leader right now. Leading that pack is Komosubi Aonishiki. Dude only knows how to do good sumo. Dude only knows how to win. Absolute freak. Has never met a wall that he just walks through without even noticing that it was there.
Well, and even one of those losses, I know he's 6-2, but one of those losses was just barely a loss. His shoulder went down, or his forearm went down just ahead. And it was like, no, it was so close.
Yeah. But Aonishiki, he's fought most of his Sanyaku matchups. The only one left is Hoshoryu. If I'm Hoshoryu, I'm terrified of that match. That's probably the biggest opportunity for Hoshoryu to lose before he gets to Onosato. But then the rest of Aonishiki's matches are going to be against mostly struggling Joy Rikshi and any Maegashira contenders that need a loss put on them before trying to get to the Yokozuna that are leading the tournament. So feeling pretty good about Aonishiki getting double digits once again, and heck, 6-2, already through most of the Sanyaku Rikshi. Another 11-4 for Aonishi is very well within sights.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. Based on matchups, week 2 is going to be easier than week 1. That's always the case for a Komusubi. They always get front loaded with the hardest ones, and coming out with the record that he's got, the train remains breakless for sure. That hype train.
Yep. And similar to last Basho, if the competition ahead of him falters a little bit, if Hoshoryu drops a couple matches, if Onosato drops one more, Aonishiki's got the easier schedule. He could very well put himself in Yusho contention very easily. So Aonishiki let's say, out of the running at all.
Here's a hypothetical for you. Let's say that Hoshoryu and Aonishiki are tied at 2 losses on day 15. Hoshoryu has to face Onosato, and Aonishiki gets like Shodai.
Yeah.
Like who you picking for the Yusho? Who's got the better odds at that point, right?
Yeah. Well, as long as Aonishiki doesn't hurt his shoulder like he was injured at the end of the last Basho, I feel like, God damn it, if he wasn't injured, we could have had an Aonishiki Yusho instead of goddamn 2-6 Koto Shoho.
Do we want to talk about him yet?
Let's do it. What an absolute waste. I don't have much more to say of what an absolute waste of like a Basho than Koto Shoho going 13-2. Onosato getting his feet under him as Yokozuna. Hoshoryu pulling out of the tournament. Aonishiki looking good, but he injures his shoulder at the end there, drops a couple of matches. And the thing that comes out of it, Koto Shoho, 13-2. He looks great. 2-6 the next Basho. Can't really do anything to nobody. The story with Koto Shoho is he always gets ranked up high, and then injuries happen. Don't know if there's any sort of injury here. Dude's just losing to Ichi Yamamoto,
his betters,
and Onokatsu, and Takanosho, and Kusano.
It's so narratively unsaufsatisfying.
It is.
Yeah.
It sucks.
It's like when Abi won a Basho, and it's like, I guess that happened. Now we're moving on.
Now what?
Yeah.
From as our field correspondent B would phrase it, like Abi didn't need that. He already had plenty of heat. He didn't need to push.
Yep.
Same and for Koto Shoho, if you're gonna do like the new kid wins a Yusho kind of a deal, just like Takeru Fuji, they just totally blew the story writing, and the follow up sucks.
Yeah.
So what was the point of that? Obviously, it's not a scripted sport, so like there's nothing you can do about that. But that doesn't take away the feeling that it's just so frustrating.
Yeah.
Right.
So unsatisfying and anticlimactic to have Koto Shoho come out of his shell, and it's like, oh man, we didn't even expect this guy at all to be in the mix. even on our midway of that Basho, none of us were picking him to even be in the mix at all. And then, oh wow, we got another name in the conversation of the top guys. No, I don't think we do.
Yeah.
No.
I do not think we do.
Well, we'll see next Basho when he drops down to like Maegashira 12, Maegashira 13.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll put it all together again.
I think it's going to take a couple to recover. I think he's getting a real good smackdown right now.
Yeah.
But not even against, like, if he was getting smacked down by the top guys, that would at least be like, okay, so we understand better. But he's just losing to the same guys he beat last time for like, yeah, it's stupid. It's not even there. He doesn't even have like an obvious injury. I'm sure everybody's beat, like we say all the time, everybody's beat up a little bit here and there. Everybody's got something, some nagging injury that's bothering them. But Koto Shoho doesn't have anything that, like, there's nothing super obvious or super visible or whatever. It just just culminates in the least satisfying first week of a Yusho winner that I've ever seen.
Yeah. Yeah, and he hasn't even fought any Sanyaku matches. That is until tomorrow, where he has Hoshoryu. So really hope Koto Shoho doesn't get off the schneid against Hoshoryu.
Watch. He pulls out some miraculous win.
I was terrified today with 0-7 Gonoyama going up against Hoshoryu. I'm like, oh no, please don't give him his first win. That would just be so bad. That would just suck so much. All right, let's move on back to our other potential Yusho candidates. The other guys that are 2 wins behind Hoshoryu at 6-2. We have 5 Maegashira. We have Wakamoto Haru. We have Ura, Tobizaru, Ryuden, and Shishi. Do we believe that any of these 5 Maegashira can make a Koto Shoho-like run and win the Yusho? Obviously, the answer would be no, because we didn't believe Koto Shoho was going to do it. And yeah, nothing's going to make me say anything other than no. Last Basho was a fluke, so I'm not going to assume something similar is going to happen this time.
I'd say the only one that's even in the conversation with Aonishiki as a contender at 6-2 is maybe Wakamoto Haru. But like the rest of them, like Ura and Tobizaru, they're like wonderful. Like we should celebrate that they're having this moment. But like, come on, it's not going to happen. And
I think.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think for me, the word of the podcast today is qualitative. I don't know that I've seen
brought to you by Grand Sumo Breakdown, qualitative.
a worse qualitative Rikishi ever than Shishi. Like,
wait, my boy right here.
Like he's winning, but God, I don't know how. It just looks so bad and so confused in every single match.
No. He's not even wrestling better than usual. It's just working somehow. It's like
I love it though. I love it.
Well, I picked him as my chump, so I'm extra mad at him.
Yeah. Well, I think for Shishi, I think he had been injured the past couple of Basho, and he's just so freakishly strong that it doesn't matter that his technique isn't necessarily tuned up to the level of most of his competition. He's just doesn't matter because he's too like farm boy strong.
Yeah.
But yeah, just watching Shishi just stumble his way to a 6-2 record has been impressive so far.
It feels like he's gonna like fall over without his opponent even touching him, the way that he like shambles sometimes. But
yeah,
I mean, you can't argue with results. Yeah, like you said, exactly like Max said there. But it's not. It's fun to watch, but it's not like I'm not learning anything.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I understand sumo any better than I did before watching a Shishi match.
But can you say the same? Is it okay? I would say I was going to make a point of Ura and Tobizaru. It's like you watch them just to see what they're going to do and try. With Shishi, it's like, okay, what's going to happen this time? It was the same with watching Shodai. It was like, what magic is he going to pull out of the Tawara? What little ballet are we going to see him do? And just luck magically swings his way.
See,
with Shishi,
you can't even call it ballet with Shishi, though.
No, I know. No. I know that. I wasn't calling it ballet. I'm just saying he's developing something else that we're going to have to acknowledge at some point.
I don't think we will. I really don't think we will.
No, it's like watching an Ent from Lord of the Rings with an inner ear disorder try to do sumo wrestling. And like, I don't get it. Whereas Ura and Tobizaru, they're like raccoons on meth with Yosemite Sam shooting bullets at their feet, dancing around like that's
God.
They're both chaos, but like one of them's a more fun type of chaos for me to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on back to our other potential Yusho candidates. The other guys that are 2 wins behind Hoshoryu at 6-2. We have 5 Maegashira. We have Wakamoto Haru. We have Ura, Tobizaru, Ryuden, and Shishi. Do we believe that any of these 5 Maegashira can make a Koto Shoho-like run and win the Yusho? Obviously, the answer would be no, because
Speaking of that chaos, though, Ura and Tobizaru, goddamn, they're going nuts this Basho.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
It just, I mean, it's they go nuts every Basho, at least a little bit, but like
But-
it usually doesn't work out to a 6-2 record.
But this one, for some reason, it's working.
They're in that. Everybody else, I think it's just a product of who they're facing and everybody else around them. They're in that middle part of the banzuke where there's everybody else around them just kind of sucks a lot more this time, and so they're able to suck up all those wins.
And somehow Tobizaru just runs away from people.
Yes.
I've never seen somebody do well fleeing as a strategy in sumo.
He had a great Henka. I think it was day 7.
Yes.
Against nobody better than Kageyaki to do that too.
I did have it in my notes that Kageyaki finally earned an award, and it's Jake's favorite Henka receiver because he went flying. He sold, like, you couldn't sell that Henka better if it was scripted. Like, he ended up like rolling all the way off of the dohyo. It's great.
Another contender happened today. Asakoryu. I don't remember who he was facing, but
he was facing
against
somebody
Tochi
from Juryo.
Taikai.
Yeah, there you go.
Another just great,
Just
perfectly
great.
executed Henka. Yeah.
I don't need one of those every day, but like
When you get them.
3
good.
or fewer per basho is like, that's my sweet spot, where they're
Mhm.
all usually pretty good because it's not on the mind. Like when Shiyoshoma's in the top division
Oh,
and you
yeah.
see one like every other day, it just kind of, it's not as
It
fun.
loses its magic.
Yep.
Yeah. And nobody falls for the Henka when Henkas are happening all the time. It's
Mhm.
gotta be those really isolated ones where somebody really does commit all the way and get absolutely embarrassed.
I do love the flying Henka fails when they leap and they're just like,
Mm.
nope.
Yeah. Man,
All right.
bad sumo is good TV.
It is.
really
Sometimes.
is.
Let's talk a little bit about Mr. Wakataka Kage, who he's on an Ozeki run, but it's getting pretty close to being on life support here. He's sitting at 5-3, so he can go in a run. You would think traditionally 11 wins would what he would need. That would be 33/3. There have been comments from Takadagawa Oyakata, the head of the Shinpan department, that said like, Wakataka Kage always wrestles well. There's not much to say about his sumo content. It's strong. It's skill-based sumo that faces his opponents head on. And so he's been emphasizing it's not necessarily the number of wins, but you need to have the quality of his sumo. The quality of sumo is extremely important. And so Wakataka Kage could, if as long as he gets to 10, that could be enough for Ozeki promotion. That would give him, I think, 12, 11, 10. No. 10, 12, 10, 10. What would it be?
I
think
got it,
12,
just a
10,
second.
10.
12, 10, 10. Yeah.
Yeah. That would give him 32, but that could be enough to get him promoted to Ozeki after this Basho because he's got such a long career. He's been towards the top for a long time. They know the quality of his sumo. It's put your head down, get a belt grip, and push your opponent out. That's what they love to see. So he still has like a 2-match buffer sitting with a 5-3 record, but he still has yet to face Hoshoryu, Onosato, and obviously he's dropped matches to other lower ranked competition so far. So it's not in the best position for Wakataka Kage. He could go on a run here, but I'm not feeling great. I'm unfortunately thinking we're probably going to end up like a 9-6 and just miss out by one match.
Yeah. Do you think that 31 wins is even on the table?
No, I don't. I think
No?
he needs to get double digits.
Yeah,
I don't think you want to promote
some.
somebody because they've talked about for Ozeki promotions, you want to see them get stronger as it goes, and having like a 12, 10, 9, I don't think you're promoting off of that.
Yeah, I would agree, but I know that in the past there's been like if like one of these was a 15-0 or something like that, and there was a 9-6 in the middle, maybe that'd be on the table. But
you can get away with it if it's the first or the second. I don't think you can if it's the third.
Yeah, I'd agree with you there. But yeah, wanted to spell it out because when was, other than Onosato just absolutely kicking the doors down, we haven't had a lot of like we haven't had edge case Ozeki promotions in a minute, and I think that it'd be interesting to see how this one goes.
Shodai, Mitake-Yumi, I think were 2, where it's just like, okay, you got 13 and a Yusho in your last one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's 4 years
when
ago.
was
That's
that?
still recent. That counts.
2020 for Shodai.
Oh,
It is
God.
fully 5 years since he got promoted to Ozeki.
How is that
oof.
possible? That does not sound right.
Mitakayumi was 2022.
Yeah.
Oh God, I forgot that was only for 4 Basho. That was
hmm
disgusting.
Yeah.
Oh man, he deserves so much better than that.
So I'm cheering for Wakataka Kage. I'm not feeling it now at this point, which is unfortunate. Tamawashi, he's not off to the greatest of start, 3-5, but the toughest part of his schedule is over. He should be facing everybody ranked below him from here on out. But he has he has passed a couple more benchmarks in his like longevity record. So on day 3, with his win over Wakataka Kage, that broke a tie that he held with Taiho for 9th most wins in sumo of all time with 373. He now sits at, or 873. He now sits
like,
at
whoa.
875, 9th place, sole 9th place all time for most wins in sumo.
Nice.
On day 9, tomorrow, Tamawashi will pass Takamiyama for the 3rd most top division matches of all time with 1,431. And on day 14, Tamawashi will pass Kaio for the 5th most
Oh,
bouts of all time, just
Ho,
in
ho.
any division, with 1,732.
Kaio
Dang.
is if you're in the same conversation with Kaio when it comes to longevity, you are doing something right.
Yeah. I saw an interview with Tamawashi Stablemaster after, I think it was after his win with Wakataka Kage on day 3, and basically said, yeah, Tamawashi's just like a freak. He can keep going until he's 45.
Never even missed a match. Unbelievable guy.
Mentioned him a little bit earlier, but Haku Oho, he's looking like he's best positioned to take over Takeyasu's Komosubi spot when Takeyasu drops. Because Takeyasu's sitting at 2-6, so it's not looking great for Takeyasu here. But he has won the last
Still
2.
needs to lose 2 more times
That's true.
before he drops.
Yeah, fair.
And
who knows if that'll happen?
we could end up with 2 open Komosubi slots if Aonishiki gets another 11 wins here, because that'll force open a 3rd Sekiwake slot if Kirishima and Wakataka Kage both get winning records. And with Kirishima, it's starting to look shaky, him having dropped his last 4. But Haku Oho, things were looking bad for him yesterday in his win against Kirishima. Looked like he hurt his arm in that day 7 matchup. He got both arms inside, but Kirishima locked down on both of those arms with a kimedashi, seemed to injure Haku Oho's right arm. But per a Nikon Sports art, obviously he wrestled today, used that heavily taped right arm against Koto Shoho in the win, threw him down with it. So
Bravo.
maybe not as bad of an injury as initially thought, but per a Nikon Sports article, after the match on day 7, he returned to his stable and said the pain subsided quickly. But then it also said he took a painkiller before his match on day 8. But the morning of day 8, he went to his doctor, who told him that if you tape it up properly and compete, you'll be fine. So doesn't look like Haku Oho is necessarily going to be pulling out anytime soon, is looking to fight through the injury. There were other comments in the article just saying like, hey, I looked up to my stablemate Takeda Fuji. He always fought through injuries, and I'm going to do the same as him. Everybody in sumo's injured. You just got to fight through it.
Yeah, I'm always kind of curious when a doctor says he'll be fine. Are we talking about like he will be capable of entering the ring tomorrow, or are we talking about he will suffer no long-lasting effects from doing the most violent sport ever? There's somewhere in between those lines.
Yes.
Is what the doctor means by okay, and I'm curious where that line is drawn.
Yeah. Down to Maegashira 10. Daisho is not doing what we thought he might be able to do. That calf injury clearly still hampering him. He's probably not fully in fighting shape after missing a few months off with that injury, sitting at just 2-6 for Daisho. So thinking pretty long shot to win the Yusho at this point. I would guess. If I had to guess, I would say no for Daisho at this
I'm
point
with
after
you.
2-6 start. Yeah.
I know I know sometimes we get a little too hot with our hot takes, but not looking great.
Yeah. Mitaka Yumi, he picked up his first win of the Basho on day 3 against Shodai, the only loss Shodai has to this point, and Mitaka Yumi dedicated that win to his mother, Margarita, who had suddenly passed away at the age of 55 on the 12th, just a couple of days prior to the Basho. So a very unfortunate situation for Mitakayumi obviously has to be fighting with an incredibly heavy heart. So sad situation for Mitakayumi there. He is 3-5 at this point.
Very sumo to continue fighting regardless, though.
Mm.
Yeah.
And I for somebody that lives and breathes sumo like that, I can imagine that being a comfort as much as anything, that, just keep doing what you would do anyways.
Fight through the injuries, whether they be physical or mental.
There you go.
Funny story. A Makushita wrestler fell asleep in his heya and had to lose his match by forfeit.
What?
So
A
Tanji,
rough whiplash transition there, but I'm
Yeah.
all for it.
Whoa.
Please, tell us more.
Tanji is a 19-year-old from the Arashio Beya. That's the Wakataka Kage Beya. Just before Tanji's match was supposed to happen on day 6 or 7, a fellow Makushita wrestler noticed he wasn't where he normally was prior to matches, doing like his typical warm-ups. So he called to the I don't remember what the head person's name is, but he called to the person who's like in charge of organizing people in the backstage. They searched the east and west dressing rooms. Tanji wasn't there. And then cut back to Tanji at his stable after morning practice. He ate some chanko and took a nap. After a rickshaw at the stable noticed this, he woke him up, and then Tanji took a taxi to the Kokuki-Con, but it was too late. His match had already happened. He lost via Fusen. He then went and apologized to the Shimpan department. They had some words for him, mostly like, "Hey, don't sleep during Bashos," but also he's a young kid. He'll use this as a learning experience.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've never heard of this happening in sumo, but as a former 19-year-old, not blown away that this could have happened. Yep. Can I tell a quick story of the laziest thing I ever did when I was roughly 19? I don't know if it was
Absolutely.
exactly. In college, on the first week of school, I had a class that was at 8 a.m. on Friday mornings. And I also like to sleep and not go to the basho when I am a 19-year-old. So when my alarm went off and I didn't want to get out of bed, I rolled over. Being the first week of classes, I could still adjust my schedule. I switched to the 9 a.m. section instead of 8. I've probably told that story on here before, but it definitely comes to mind as a sleepy 19-year-old is the headline.
Just goes to show that we're two very different people, as I would intentionally front load my schedule with all morning classes. Try to get it done in the day as soon as possible. Then I could be done with classes at 11 a.m. in the morning. Sign me up for that 10 times out of 10. Absolutely.
11 a.m. is for sleeping.
Right.
Absolutely not. And then, he would then stay at the Koguki-Con and later serve as Wakataka Kage Sukebito for his match. So.
No. Yeah, you slept in. Yeah, you feel good? Okay, you're going to learning experience. All right, get over there.
Yeah.
Get my towel.
Exactly.
And hey, day 8, Tanji won his next match. So, you know what? He's doing good. He's doing good.
Not going to lie, I'm going to be following this guy and rooting for him.
Now that I know him.
I think he's 2-2.
It's possibly the most endearing story I could learn of a wrestler. Bye.
Right,
Tanji, yes. Makushita 24 West. Tanji is 2-2.
All right, Tanji, we see you. We are now following you.
And another note, Mitoryu, longtime Juryo Rikishi. He appeared in the top division, I want to say 5 times. He missed most, if not all, of the previous Basho, dropping down to Makushita, and he announced his retirement during the first week of the Basho. So Mitoryu has retired. He's held his retirement press conference. He does not have any Kabu. He will not be staying on in the JSA. He'll just go on to do whatever his life leads him to. So yeah, Mitoryu retiring at 31 years old after about 8 years in Pro Sumo. I think it's famously like he came on the same plane as, I want to say, like Ichinojo and another Mongolian wrestler over to Japan.
Oh, cool. To get recruited, you mean?
Yeah. That's all I've got. Is there anybody else you guys wanted to talk about in the top division before we take a quick break and update all of our games?
Yeah, Hitoshi, not terrible.
Fucking
He's doing
Toshi.
okay. He
I was
was-
gonna wait on that into the next segment.
I mean, I know that it's a bummer for Ryan because Ryan picked him as a chump for this Basho, but like,
Hitoshi was my favorite Rikishi for the first 4 days, and now I hate him almost as much as Oshoma.
I guess the reason I bring him up as a 4-4 newcomer, that's not blowing anybody away, but like I've never heard expectations lower, especially from Ryan, but also just around social media. It was just like, well, this is a nobody who won't matter and he will die and explode and be the worst thing that's ever happened. But like, I don't know, man. He's
He
fine.
keeps winning, he will be.
Yeah. Nice. He's doing okay. I don't know. Mac, you got any other ones?
Nope, we covered everything that I wanted to hit. So yeah, I've got nothing else to add.
Little guys having a tough time. Midori Fuji, Asakoryu, Fuji no Kawa. I guess Fuji no
Toki
Kawa's not that
Hayate.
little,
Yeah.
but Toki Hayate, yeah. Tough time around for the little guys, but we at least get Tobizaru and Ura being all exciting and stuff for the fan favorites.
Fuji no Kawa is holding up still as one of the more exciting guys
Yeah.
to watch. His win against Roga on day 7, just an absolute beautiful Kakenage throw from Fuji no Kawa. Absolutely gorgeous from him. So I'm a big fan of Fuji no Kawa. He's only 20 years old and still is only 3-5. So not necessarily worry about him in any way, shape, or form. So I think he's got a lot of potential.
Not like he's burning out, just a tough Basho.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right.
Sorry, I had Hirodoumi, I guess is like
Yep, I just checked here and I was like, hey, where's the other little guy?
in the kind of smallish on the small side of normal, and he's doing okay, but yeah, he's got as tough a schedule as you can get.
Yeah, he started 4-2. He got a bit of a heat check going up against the 2 Yokozuna on back-to-back days, so hanging 2 losses on him is not really bad. But other than those 2, he's been looking fantastic. So I think Hirodoumi, now that he's passed those 2 giant hurdles, I think we can see him end up with a winning record here.
Yeah,
from
I can see
4-4.
8-7.
8-7, 9-6 is what I'm thinking for Hirodoumi at this point.
Haven't said his name yet. Abi doing terrible.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes.
8.
Not super upsetting to a lot of people I know to see him do poorly.
Shocked he has not reverted to like Hanka for a cheap win.
Yes,
or something
for
like
sure.
that.
I thought it was coming today to try and stave off the Makikoshi.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's been doing his style of sumo, and I am really confident that he's got an injury as opposed to just elbows.
He's always had elbow issues. And I think those are heavily taped up. I think they're always heavily taped up. But yeah, he's always had elbow issues. And I think I've seen some people speculating that they're just kind of shot at this point.
Since you said 0-8, it made me think like, wait, there were 2 guys at 0-8. Goshobiyama 0-8 now.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Couple of guys in the Joy just absolutely getting demolished by everybody. Nishikiki was trying to join the 0-8 club, but he who did he beat today? I don't remember. It doesn't matter. But Nishikiki got his first win today.
Sadanomi.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. Not a great Basho for smaller guys. Not a great Basho for power pushers. Ichi Yamamoto is also doing poorly.
Yeah.
Good. Die.
All right, let's take a quick break and we'll come back with some momentous GSB belt news.
How about first we cover our green belt topics?
Okay.
Fine.
Fine. Otsuke. Ryan, Mac, and I watched a video of this one before recording because this is a really hard one to articulate. I highly recommend finding the Grand Sumo highlights page on NHK World. They have a section called Sumopedia, and number 52 is a video on Otsuke. This is going to be hard for me to describe, so I just think that it'd be fun to look up a video if you want to see how it goes. But effectively, you know what? No, Ryan, Mac, can either of you refresh us on what we watched a video on for the Otsuke technique?
Essentially, it's like keeping like your arm inside to block somebody's attempt to get to your belt. You're essentially just using your arm to block their grip attempts, and I think it's usually kind of like hugging it in to the side to block that
but it's
avenue.
It's not necessarily the elbow. It's not an elbow lock. You're just more on the forearm and the wrist, I thought.
Yeah. I think the best way I can summarize my understanding is when an opponent goes for an inside grip, You lock their arm using like pressing down with your whole arm on top of them and trapping their arm to your body, so that they can't reach all the way in there and get that belt. It's something that is very lightning fast, depending on how much of the audio kept from before we cut. This is something that I want you guys to try and keep track of if you see it in a match. If a guy goes for an inside grip and the defender has an overhook and they clamp that arm into the body, the person who is using Otsuke isn't going for the opponent's belt at that moment. They're more just doing this as a quick defense to reset and then maybe use that overhook to get in the armpit and push their opponent or something like that. But yeah, you're hugging the arm in. A lot of times you'll see guys reaching under their opponent's arm and pushing the arm up, like pushing the arm up into your armpit so you can trap it up there. But yeah, it's a defensive move to keep an opponent off of your belt. Now, let's see. Our next term, Makikai. You hear this all the time in English language commentary on Pro Sumo highlights. If either of you guys feel comfortable guessing at this one? Mac, what do you think?
I think it's when you actually change grips. It's the process of like when you realize you're in a bad position and then you try to, I can't remember if it's over or under, but you reposition yourself, and it's an everything or nothing move because we've seen it in a couple different matches where I think Ao Nishiki had one where I think it was against Kirishima, where Kirishima tried to go for a different grip, but he got spun around, and then was escorted out with an okuridashi. So I thought that is when you go for a reposition and it either works or doesn't.
You got most of it there.
Okay.
If your Makikai is successful, where are your hands?
You are, I want to say inside.
Yes.
Okay.
Makikai in particular is the standard sumo grappling position is one under, one over for each guy, generally, all else being equal. And if I were to execute a Makikai technique, I would swim my outer hook inside the arm, and now I would have two inside grips. But it's that act of releasing your outside grip that exposes you to danger.
Right, because
so,
you're all open then. If you try to,
and then open.
Even if you do this, you can get your elbows locked in, and then all of your leverage is gone.
All sorts of stuff can go wrong, but in essence, the way I'd summarize it is if you had two grips and momentarily you only have one, but your opponent has two, then they have the advantage over you.
Okay.
So you got to be quick, and to get that outside hooked in, you have to go up and out and like give some space in order to dig. So it can be risky. Now, breaking the grip. I don't know that there is a official terminology for this, but this is also another fundamental quick defense move that you'll see a lot of times in Pro Sumo. If somebody has a grip on your belt and they're like reaching out for it, you're almost always going to be better off if you can detach their hand from your belt. So the most fundamental way that I want you guys to think of doing this is, let's say somebody's got this belt grip right here, is I would take my hand, I would grab their wrist that is attached to my belt now. I would push the wrist down while popping my hip backwards.
Okay.
So both of those actions, for you to count as getting this question right at the end, I want you to remember those two parts. Push their wrist down, pull and your hip backwards.
Okay.
You want to remove your belt from their reach while also making them work harder to stay hung onto it. So those are three essential defense techniques to learn for your green belt. As we progress here, I'm probably going to have a lot more stumbles because we're moving past memorizing vocab and into understanding technique, which is not my best attribute. So those are our three techniques for green belt this episode. Otsuke, where you trap the arm. Makikai, where you swim to get inside grips. And breaking the grip, where you pop the hand down, pop your hip back. Get your opponent off of the belt when they have already gotten it. So we'll go to a break, as Ryan prematurely announced a minute ago, and we will see you when we get back.
You're listening to Grand Sumo Breakdown, the world's #1 sumo podcast, according to 3 out of 4 hosts of Grand Sumo Breakdown. Keep an eye out for our preview, midway, and recap podcasts for every professional sumo tournament, and a host of bonus episodes in between. Help support us by joining our Patreon and spreading the word about our show. Every penny we raise is reinvested in improving our podcast. We also help run amateur sumo events and produce the American Sumo newsletter, which you can find on our website, grandsumobreakdown.wordpress.com. Reach out to us on social media if there's anything you'd like to learn about sumo, or if you'd like to try it yourself.
All right, welcome back. We're going to start off with our GSB belt. Let's cover the loser's belt first, because this ended up at the end of last Basho on Fukai in Makushita, who went Kyujo. I don't really know what to do with that belt. We'll deal with that later.
Shit.
Yeah. Now, our winner's belt, on the other hand, break out the air horns. We did it, boys. Current GSB winner's belt holder is Ono Sato, a Yokozuna.
Yay!
So we, in the past, have decided that once the belt gets to a Yokozuna, there you go. That belt has succeeded, and now we move on to the next one.
If it had continued, then it would have ended up on Haku Oho.
No, sorry. Ono Sato won it post his loss.
Oh,
Ono
did
Sato
he?
has it now.
Oh, because
Here, I got it right here.
yeah, please.
It started on Takayasu, who lost it to Atami Fuji, who immediately lost to Aonishiki. 2 days later, he lost to Oho, and Oho lost to Ono Sato on day 5.
There we
Ono
go.
Sato has not lost since then, so he has it still.
Okay, now I had it messed up in my mind. I thought Ono Sato had fought Takayasu day 1, and so I thought it was done day 1.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, not quite.
Okay.
So
we're good.
that belt is on a Yokozuna. We'll certainly track it the second week, see where it ends up. But I think this one's good.
yeah.
The
We can kill
loser's
it.
belt, I don't know exactly what we're going to do with that one, but we'll
Probably
play
kill
around with it a little bit.
Kill it.
Just start
But-
Kill it
fresh.
with fire.
It might have just been too big of an ordeal to bother continuing.
Yeah.
Because I think for me personally, after this iteration of the belts, I kind of want to take a break unless we have a fun idea for it. Unless we have
Okay.
some other gimmick to try.
That's
I think it
fine
might
with
be
me.
something that we kind of shelve for the moment. But
Yeah.
if any listeners have ideas, pop them in the Discord, pop them in the comments here or whatever. I'd love to hear if you guys have a fun idea for tracking a new GSB belt. But as is, I think we've done it enough times that, yeah, we know how it works. It's fun, but yeah, we don't need to just keep doing it just for the sake of doing it.
All right. Let's take a look at our Chump standings, and it's essentially anybody's game at this point. All 4 of us are within 2 points of each other. Fleric right now has the lead with 12 points. His champ Ono Sato, his chump Tomokaze, and then Jake and Mac each have 10 points. I would say I'm feeling pretty bad. I think I have the worst champ left. I'm not sure I'm going to be picking up any bonus points over Hoshoryu, Ono Sato. I think Jake and Fleric are likely in the best position. They're going to
we
get
have the Yokozuna. Both of them are in the Yusho race. Both of them are likely to face the other guys and potentially pick up these bonus points. So,
Mac with Aonishiki special prizes, potentially
True.
could also still Yusho.
Could also
Yusho.
still, hey.
But
And we
also all
suck
of
at
our
picking
chumps.
Oh,
All
yeah.
of our-
So what the hell happened with our chump picks this time?
I have the best chump with Hitoshi at 4 and 4.
4 points.
We have
Yeah.
4 points.
Well, 6
Or, sorry,
points. 'Cause
6
he lost to
points,
2
4
of your
losses,
chumps.
yeah.
So
that's true. That's true.
very much helping me stay afloat right now. But
Yeah.
I'm not feeling too great about this one. We'll see how it goes.
I got Hoshoryu, which is if I had to pick a champ right now at the halfway point, I'd still pick Hoshoryu. But then I'm stuck with Shishi, who's doing well for the first time in his top division career. Great. Thank you. Awesome.
Well, same with Fleric. Fleric's got Tomokaze. Tomokaze's not doing bad either.
Yeah. Very, very weird how we all have pretty good champs and pretty terrible chumps.
I got freaking Chura Naomi. What the hell is this?
Yeah.
All right.
well.
Let's jump quickly to the lightning round. Let's see how lightning we can keep it, because I put on a good face for the first hour of the podcast, but the my sickness is catching up with me, and I'm starting to feel it. So,
boy.
Jake, who has impressed you the most so far?
Aonishiki.
All right. What about you, Mac?
Tomokaze. All right.
Hoshoryu. Never
Oh,
seen
that
this
was the
man
easy
go
one.
8-0. He's beaten
It is,
all of
yeah.
the people that he commonly get advantage of him. So let's go Hoshoryu. Conversely, Mac, who has disappointed you the most so far?
Go no Yama. 0-8. Come on, baby.
I mean, it's either it's Daisho for me.
Sure.
It's obviously a health thing, not his skill level thing. But I was expecting a lot more from Daisho here. Nearly made him my champ. That would have been disastrous.
Ooh.
What about you, Jake?
I'll take 2 half picks if that's okay. Abi, it's more fun to hate somebody who's doing well.
Not necessarily.
and-
It's nice to have one where you can just dunk on him the whole
just
time.
cash in.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just not satisfying to me. And then Kusuno, I want him to be the red hot prospect that everybody else has been the last couple of years. He's doing okay, but like I want more.
That's all right. We'll get Mita in the next Basho.
Ooh.
He's
go.
the next guy just doing that thing, just rocketing through the lower division. So he's 7-1 in Juryo right now. So we'll have Mita to look forward to. All right. What has been our favorite match of the Basho so far? For me, I'm going to go with that Fujinokawa versus Roga match that mentioned earlier. Just a beautiful throw to end it and a great belt battle between those two. So Fujinokawa versus Roga for me. What about you, Jake?
I see Mac already wrote it down. I can't not steal it, but yeah, it's the one.
You jerk!
That certainly an entertaining.
We haven't even
match.
said what it is though, real quick.
Yeah, I'll go for it.
Tobi Zaru versus Shonan Naomi on day 1, absolute A+. Completely Hall of Fame comedy match.
Oh my God.
The ineptitude on display in that match
So good.
on both
Bad
sides.
Sumo is good TV. I think I just need to get that like on a plaque or something now.
Honorable mention: Takayasu versus Awanishiki for the windmill.
Oh yeah, this is
thrust
a party match. Yeah.
that Awanishiki just absorbed and then found the belt grip, and then Takayasu was toast from there. Kind of the same match he had with Tamawashi today, just to a lesser extent. Tamawashi with the windmill of pushes, Awanishiki absorbed it, found the belt grip, and you're done.
Do we need to bother with most exciting potential matchup? I mean,
No,
it's Yokozuna
Onosato versus
Yokozuna.
Hoshoryu.
Yeah.
Very
Onosato
easy.
versus
Second
Hoshoryu.
one?
Very
Should we bother
easy.
picking a second one?
Awanishiki versus Hoshoryu.
There we go.
Yep.
Um,
I don't know. It's kind of it.
Yeah.
Onosato and Hoshoryu versus their last couple Maegashira matches.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, oh God.
Let's see if we can keep it to one Kinboshi this Basho after what was it, 7 last time?
Yeah.
Nonsense.
But don't give the
Don't
accounting
do it.
department ulcers. All right. Who is going to win it?
Onosato.
Yeah, I have to give the edge to Onosato.
If Hoshoryu can stay ahead or tied with Onosato, Hoshoryu has the vast advantage in the matchups between those two. And I gotta believe in my boy Hoshoryu. Let's go, Hoshoryu.
Yeah. If it comes down to one match and it's between those two, yeah, Hoshoryu definitely has the historical edge. But like, despite the one loss already, I do trust Onosato to get to day 15 with fewer losses than Hoshoryu.
All right, Jake, wrap it up. I can't do this anymore.
Thanks for listening to Grand Sumo Breakdown. Hopefully our technical difficulties edited together cleanly.
Hopefully you're seeing this episode or
Yes.
listening to it. Hopefully you actually
Until
enjoyed
next
it. We
time,
weren't just talking to each other for our own benefits.
Yeah. And until next time, maintain your computer and throw your salt high and keep moving forwards.
Yeah.